Runway podcast. I am your host, Gcina Madonsela, and today is a little bit different. Today, we actually want to switch things up. We literally just want to send a shout out to everybody that has supported the Runway podcast so far. We've had 5 amazing episodes, 5 amazing guests, and it has been an absolute joy just to be on this ride with you. It is a fairly new podcast, so if there are glitches, guys, I just want to say up front, we do apologize. We literally have been trying to just tweak things for you, make sure that we get proper guests for you, make sure that we're giving you the content that will put you on the runway, right? So today's episode, like I just said, is a little bit different. I'm going to actually review our first 5 episodes. If you remember correctly, we actually launched this episode on the 1st of December 2022. So we literally have, just had this episode for over 5 weeks. And this particular episode, I'll be reviewing the episodes that we've had. I'll literally be, just taking it from each guest, one to the next. And I'll just be giving you my thoughts, share a little bit of behind the scenes, and just let you in onto the whole thing of the podcasting world. Of course, this podcast is in partnership with Mano Media. We are shooting live from their studios. And then, of course, we've got our partners at Opulentia. We will link all of our partners in the description box so that you can go ahead and show them and love and support on their socials as well. Right, so for today's first review, we had, in fact, the first episode of the Runway podcast, we had Tepiso Malema. Now, Tepiso Malema is, a young man. He is, an entrepreneur. He's actually still a student, and he's 20 years old. I'm just giving you this detail so that you can understand that, this podcast is all about unearthing the underdogs, unearthing the people that are on the rise in their journey. It's not only about celebrities and the fancy stuff and the business people that are established, but we are trying to, kind of carve away and unearth these gems of people that are still in their early phases of their journey and they're still building. So Tepiso Malema is quite a young man. If you watch the episode, you will basically get the background of how him and me met. But since then, we've had quite an amazing, kind of relationship. We have, in fact, he works with me now, part of the Runway events. We are literally, like, he's become my guy, So what I thought about that episode is that, seeing as it was the kind of first episode, I must really say that I felt like I was quite nervous, I really was kind of nervous. I was like, okay, let's shoot, let's see what happens. But it went really well. I think Tepiso was quite a confident young man. And we spoke about a lot of things that I don't feel like are already out there in the media about him. Things like his personal life, how he started, even, his career as a DJ, and obviously the whole journey of him rising up to then eventually being one of the Mail and Guardian top 200 influential South Africans. And so that was quite an interesting episode. I think if you are anybody who wants to kind of get inspired, want some motivation, that first episode is definitely one that you should watch out for. Okay, and then moving on to the second episode. The second episode of the Runway podcast, we hosted Solomon Penduga, right? A lot of people know him as Sol Penduga. And he's my guy, man. I feel like he's my boy now. Literally, he obviously, was the one that basically invited me to be a ghost lady on, podcast and chill with G. So I think from that point, we built such quite a nice sister brotherhood, Saul is somebody where you're like, oh Saul, you know what, I'm starting a podcast, he's there, he'll definitely come through and support. And so I really, really enjoyed our particular episode. Now I do also have to put another disclaimer. That episode had a little bit of, technical issues, kind of like the sound wasn't, kind of translating well on the podcast. I have to apologize for that, but it's all like a learning curve. That was literally our second episode and we shot it with Saul. So as much as Saul is a big personality, and he's, somebody people respect, he's on radio, I do feel like we need to kind of, have a little bit of grace, because I know you guys want the content, Saul's quite big, and that particular episode is actually sitting on like 14,000 views. Okay, so there's definitely something there to watch. It was shorter than the other episodes, and that's because I wanted Saul to actually come back. Okay, so Saul, if you're watching this, my boy, you need to come back, okay? We need to do another episode. But Sol is a fun person as well. He's also got a journey, a story to tell, from being on radio, being on 5FM, working Unilever DJ Fresh, and then all of a sudden, losing his ways, falling, into an addiction of gambling, and then having to go back to Kasi, and then also realizing, actually Kasi is not the place for me, it's not the conducive environment for me to get myself together, and then having to, move to town because, at least people don't know him there, and then he can basically start afresh to actually now being on the biggest podcast in Africa. It literally is such an amazing story. So yeah, like I said, that particular one, I kept it short because I wanted just to give you a little bit of a taste. But like I said, so is my boy, we're gonna do this again. Yes, all right? Okay. Okay, so that was the second episode. And in the third episode, we actually hosted Owami. So she goes by Owami Entertainment all over these YouTube streets. And she was our third guest. And that particular episode was actually very fun. And fun in the sense that we had like a good, real conversation. Our conversation was all about, okay, how do we actually make money? Is it possible to start a business with no money? And she quite put it very eloquently and was honest to say, yes guys, there is this notion or there is this like popular opinion that's going around to say, you can start a business with no money, but the truth is businesses do need money or some kind of financial injection, especially in the startup phases or the beginning phases. So that was quite a real conversation. Also, another amazing story of starting from the bottom. I think you can quite, clearly see the thread, right? You can see the thread of my guests. We literally talk to people that are just like you and me, like you and me all don't start on the same footing. We don't all have privileges, especially as we grow up. So a lot of us come from, previously disadvantaged backgrounds, but it's all about how you can actually pick yourself up, how you can actually, rewrite or maybe write your story the way that you want to write it, right? So that was quite a nice episode, and it's actually our second most viewed episode so far, which is amazing, and we're grateful to everybody that is actually supporting, because in the comment section of that particular episode, a lot of ninjas. Ninjas is what Wami calls a community, right? Her supporters, her followers. Hey, a lot of ninjas checked in. Hey, so I can see you ninjas. I want to give a shout out to the ninjas for supporting, for watching, for commenting, for showing us some love. We really, really are doing this for you guys as well. So I hope you can actually join the Runway family, right? Hopefully we can convert the ninjas. Okay, so then let's move right along to episode 4. I really, really enjoyed that episode as well. And as much as Oluvuyo is somewhat of an underdog, I really, really enjoyed having the conversation with him. He's somebody who is very, very big in the policy making space. He is part of the Black Business Council, is part of the Black Management Forum in very senior positions. And so as much as he's not like popular or well known, the content from there was so rich, because I literally was interrogating him and asking questions like, what are the Black Business Council and BMF doing to help SMMEs? They always have these policy conferences, they always have these summits and these nice dinners, but what is the actual tangible value that they are giving to the normal entrepreneur on the street? And so Oluvuyo, in obviously Oluvuyo style, he answered so eloquently and explained everything. You definitely want to check this episode out, because for everybody who's in business, especially starting out, you want to know what is the government doing, especially they've got lots of members, they've got from corporate, they've got government within their association, but what does that do for somebody like me and you who's starting their business, right? So definitely go and check out episode 4 of the Runway podcast. And since the last time we actually recorded this, Oluvuyo, I didn't even know that he's actually now the head of mining and energy. Guys, we gotta give it to my guy. Like, he's literally, I didn't know at the time that, he obviously had this position. I saw the announcement a few days ago, and I was just like so proud that we are actually bringing people, of substance. We are bringing people like legends. They don't have to be popular, but legends, right? That's the whole tagline of the podcast. Underdogs and legends, welcome. Right. Okay, so then the last episode and the final one that I'm going to review for today is the episode with Mr. Banks. So the episode with Mr. Banks was also very interesting. Now, I've had a couple of conversations with Mr. Banks before. I've had him on radio. For those of you who know that I actually used to host a radio show, 9 to 12. It was focused on women and children. And every now and again, we would bring guests that are in business to educate people about business, how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to scale your business, how to provide value, how to do business in Africa, right? So I always enjoy my conversations with Banks. I've even done a couple of Instagram lives with him. So he is one person who is very clear about his brand, about his business, and the value that he provides. So you know when you have a conversation with Mr. Banks that, hey, things are going to be real, things are going to be, he's just got this aura where it just inspires you to do better. He's always talking about, how to provide value. There's value in money, and money follows solutions, right? So this is a very solutions-oriented guy. This is somebody that you want to listen to almost every morning when you wake up, because he's like, hey, what are we doing in Africa? What are we doing in the entrepreneurship space? How are we making money? How is the numbers numbering? So that was a really, really fun episode. Like I said, he is my boy, Naye. He's somebody that I respect so much, but his humility and what he's doing in his space is really amazing. You want to check out episode number 5. So that is the review of episodes. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about, obviously like behind the scenes. Now, I obviously am shooting with an amazing team at Mano Media, and these guys are absolutely doing a phenomenal job. They literally, from editing, we're using like 3 different cameras. So I think when I invite the guests to the podcast, as much as they come and support, because obviously they're supporting me, and they're coming to be, a guest on the show that I'm hosting, I think when they get here, they are surprised. You can just tell by the aura, like, oh my God, this is serious. There's 4K cameras. There's that energy, like, wow, this is amazing. So I've actually enjoyed, just leading the guests up the lift, and we chat a bit in the lift, and then as soon as we walk into the studio, they're like, oh, this is a serious production. So, I'm going to give a big out to the team at Mano Media. They've done a phenomenal job putting this whole thing together. So, yeah, most of the guests are very friendly. There's nobody who has had any bad vibes. I don't expect that anyway. Also even, I bought a couple of things from Opulentia, which is one of our partners. She was in the studio on that particular day. We bought some scents, some candles, some diffusers, so these are people that are, it feels like a family. It feels like so far we've done a really good job of welcoming our guests, making them feel at home, making them see that the production quality is not just on any level. It is, on that level. So once again, thank you so much to everybody that has watched, the Runway podcast, who has supported, who has liked, who has shared, who has engaged with us. We really, really appreciate it. We are literally on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So please make sure that you hit that subscribe button, click the like button, leave your comment, tell us what you think of this review episode. Do you want more of these review episodes often, or do you want to just see me and the guests kind of doing our thing? We also have a nice element of having a ghost here and there in a few episodes, which I think if you do enjoy it, please let us know in the comment section so that we can continue. Or else, if you just want, just let us know what it is that you want. We're here to serve, and we're here for not just the legends, but we're also here for the underdogs. It's going to get really exciting this year, and I can't wait to have you along for the ride. And also, if you're enjoying this makeup look, drop a fire emoji in the comment section. I am trying to I'm trying to be the girl. I'm trying to pimp this up. So definitely, guys, it's going to get exciting. I'm excited already. So I hope you come along for the journey, and I hope you can bring along as many people so we can all be on a runway, baby. Alrighty, from me to you, it's nothing but love. Cheers, guys.